Welcome back, everybody. This is King. Everyone loves pirates. Coming at you with a Let's Learn, Let's Play of Crusader Kings 2. And I, personally, am actually celebrating our Rise to King, which was pretty much one of our main goals. We may be coming to an end, at least on the learning portion of this series, because we've shown you how to go all the way from an earl up to a king. We could work towards emperor, but that just may take way too long. But I'm currently celebrating being the King of Ireland with some amazing Irish whiskey, Bushmills Distillery Reserve 12-year, that a really good friend of mine brought back from his trip to Ireland when he went to the Bushmills Distillery. And I'd been there myself 10 years before, back in 2003. And oh man, good stuff. I'm really a Scotch guy, but I do love a good Irish whiskey as well, especially the Bushmills. This Distillery Reserve is amazing. If you've never had it, I'd also recommend trying Black Bush if you like Scotch. It's kind of the Scotchiest Irish whiskey I've ever had. It's almost smoky, but yeah. So I'm very happy. This won't be a let's drunk. It's just a just a little celebration. I'm king. I deserve a fine beverage, and it's after 6 o'clock, so it's fine. The sun's down. Anyways, if I go quiet or something, it's because I'm sipping on whiskey. Oh, so good. But only if you're over 21 or legal drinking age in your region. Anywhere else, it's horrible. It tastes really bad. Alcohol is really weird. It tastes horrible until you're 21, and then it's the best thing on earth. So don't even try until you turn 21. Anyways, last video I was trying to figure out who we were going to attack. This is a new day. I did watch the end of the last video just to make sure. Let's look at our character. We don't have any truces, which is good. I need to be careful and make sure that I'm looking at my character and his truces and not someone else's, just in case we do end up with a one-way truce somewhere. So we are in our diplomacy view, which is down here, diplomatic relations. We can also use E on our keyboard as a shortcut. And we can just mouse over each thing and see what our options are. We have a couple claims on Tyrone. We have a claim on Oriel. We have a de jure claim on Bryphony. We have two claims, but only one that's going to bring the land to us for Connacht. And then, of course, we have Thomond, this dude that's still at war, so we can't usurp his duchy. But I've also kind of off camera been thinking, what do I want Ireland to look like once I become king? What's going to keep me the strongest and have control over my vassals? Because I imagine in the future, we're going to have a succession at some point. Luckily, our heir is 12. He doesn't have very good stats. We just took over being his guardian, and we're going to try to do better than the last guy. But he'll come of age in 4 years, which is okay. If we died right now, it wouldn't be horrible spending a long time with a regent as a child. But you don't want to do that if you can't help it. And there's a good chance that our vassals won't like our heir once he becomes their liege. So I'm just trying to think ahead as a good grandfather about what I'm leaving him when I die, and try to make it as easy on him as possible, and in turn, really us. So what we really want are some really strong core holdings. And if we do end up going to elective monarchy, which we won't be able to do with this character, because we need to have reigned at least 10 years, and no vassal can have a negative opinion of us. Though, before I thought it said we needed medium crown authority. Oh, we need it for primogeniture or seniority. Primogeniture needs higher absolute, but everyone loves elective monarchy, so they don't care about that. So we might go to elective monarchy once we've reigned for 10 years. And if we do, though, we want to keep ourselves strong and our vassals as weak as possible. And under elective monarchy, we can only hold so many duchies because duchies have have strong voting rights when it comes to who becomes heir, who becomes the next king. And I think it's 2. It's been a while since I've actually played as king. And I don't know if things have got changed around a little bit. At least king under elective monarchy. So I think your vassals start getting mad if you have more than 2 duchies, because then you just have too much voting power. That's just... If you're familiar with American politics, it's like being, I don't know, Delaware or something. You know, yeah, sure, you have votes, but every presidential election at least comes down to just a handful of states that actually matter. And the rest are either surefire going one way or another, or they just have so few electoral votes that it doesn't even matter. So but we also want to think, what happens if we lose, right? We could lose an election. It's very possible. And our heir will lose the title to the kingdom, but he'll keep any lands that he owns. Now, he might not be able to hold all those lands because his domain size will go down because he won't be king anymore, his max domain size. But that's why, and we've talked in the past about how what I really want to do when we get the money is build more castles in our main holding. Our heir will always have Dublin. No matter how it gets split up, you always have our capital. Capital of our kingdom, capital of our duchy. Though, actually, now that I say that, I wonder if he'll still keep... No, he'll still keep his personal holdings in Dublin, even if he loses the kingship. The new king, at worst, would take the main holding, but even then, I don't think that's the case. Just the capital would go to wherever his holdings were. I think. Never had that happen to me. But the other concern is if we stay under Galvakine succession, right now we only have one heir. It's fine. It's not being split up. He doesn't even have a sister, and he'll never get one because his dad's dead. But so let's say he dies or something, then it would go to Magnus, so our other grandchild, and Lethalgamane's probably our other granddaughter. So we just want to look at our brother's children. That brother? No. Where do my our daughter's children? There we go. I don't know what I'm thinking. Oh, so there. Those 2 brothers would inherit, and our kingdom would be split. But the one we play, our main heir, will always keep the capital. He'll get the kingdom title, and we'll keep our capital, and then the other stuff will get split up however it gets split up. If we only had one duchy, I believe he'd keep the duchy as well, and then the rest of the lands would get split up. I don't know, I try not to play under Galvakine when I can help it. I usually switch immediately either to primogeniture or elective, because I don't like Galvakine. But it does have some pluses. So that's my thought process. I know that's a lot of talking at the beginning of this episode. It's making me parched, so I'm going to have a little sip. Oh yeah. So that's what I'm thinking, that I want to have strong personal holdings, as strong as I can. And if I can only hold 2 duchies, what I want to do is I want to look at the duchies, de jure duchies, zoom out a little bit so they actually show up. Ulster is a 3-county duchy. Connacht is 2-county. Dublin here, or Tara, the Duchy of Tara that Dublin's in, is 2. Leinster is 2. Munster is 3, I think I said. So we could go for just holding an entire duchy of more holdings. Or like in the case, we always want Tara because it has Dublin, which is the best county in the game, because it has 2 extra spots where we can build castles. And if you missed previous episodes, I want those castles because they're my direct counties, or my direct holdings within one county. I can have 3 direct holdings in one county, so every time I send my marshal there to train troops, he'll boost troop levels in all 3 castles. Send my tax collector to collect taxes, he'll collect extra taxes in all 3 holdings. So it's very strong to bump up castles in your main holding where you're going to be sending your counselors to work. So I'll definitely keep Dublin. I'll keep Kildare as well. I want to own all the counties within the duchies that I own, just so we don't end up with stuff like in Leinster and Ossory, where we have a count who, even though this guy loves us, he does have a negative 20 opinion of us because he desires the duchy. We own the duchy. If we look at one where we... are those the only personal holdings we have? Where's the third one? there. No. We have... I can't tell the difference in... we have Ormond, don't we? It's just not... it's not light green like the rest of our holdings. So we own Ormond. We don't own Desmond. Look at this guy. He desires... Oh, it's the same... That's right. We had to give him land here. So if we also had this duchy, he would desire that duchy as well because he owns land in it. And what I'm going to end up doing is just giving those duchy titles to someone else. So, and probably not even the guys that desire the duchy, because then that's going to make them stronger. They're going to own a duchy and they're going to own counties within the duchy. I could just give the duchy to someone and he has to deal with the fact that they want his duchy. And I never have to deal with those vassals again because they're under a duke. And they're insignificant to me because I'm a king. So that's kind of a nice way to do it. If you have counts that dislike you and you're king, you can just hide them underneath a duke. You don't want to own their duchy. And then you never have to deal with them. They deal with their duke and they provide levies for him and you take the levies from him. So you just have to deal with the dukes liking you. I know that's a lot of talking. We'll see it in action. So I definitely want these two. And this is just how I'm going to decide where I want to attack next. I'm a little concerned. I probably would have preferred having these three, but I would have to revoke Desmond. And I don't want to revoke from this guy. Oh. So his dad died. I don't know if that happened last episode or not. I don't remember. I mean, it definitely happened last episode, but I don't know if I noticed it. So, unfortunately, yeah, it happened before we increased crown authority because he didn't like that. But he still likes us. He doesn't like us as much as his father did, because we actually gave his father all that land. But we should be able to plot to take... Yeah, so we can plot to revoke it from him. It would make him really mad. He's our vassal here, or here, and then he'd really hate us. But on the other hand, we could bury him underneath a duke, and then we never have to deal with him. And then we could have this entire duchy. So that's a thought. We'd have to, get it from this guy, the county and the duchy. But that's easy enough to do. He doesn't like us already, so my plan is to continue to piss him off and take all of his land. The other thought is I could try to take this county, or this duchy, these two counties. But Bryphony is actually not good at all. Connacht has one extra holding. That's mainly what I'm going to look for now, just to see how strong they are. These each have an extra one I can use. That one doesn't. So only two of these do. And I'm just trying to figure out how strong they can get. That's basically it. There's an argument that a duke with 4 counties under him, even if he doesn't own any of those personal holdings, has a certain level of strength. And that's a good argument. But at the same time, I don't know. We want to think, at minimum, as long as we stay king, we'll have a 6 domain size and probably more based on our stewardship. So Dublin's going to have 3 holdings. 1, 2, 3, eventually. Which means we can hold an additional 3 holdings, and what it'll probably end up being 3 counties. So it could be, one of them is going to be Kildare, and so it could be Bryphony and Connacht. We wouldn't want this duchy probably because we never hold them all, because I'd rather have the castles in our main county. It's going to be hard getting those 2 back. That would make too many people mad. So who knows? Maybe we do go for Bryphony and Connacht. I just don't like how we'll never be able to build anything here. Now we'll probably end up building cities or something instead. The castles are really nice in your own in your capital, but there's something to be said about the money that's going to come in from cities somewhere else, especially coastal cities. I think they make more. Yeah, I don't like how he's landlocked. We can get more ships. That's another thing to think about. We'll have more personal ships if we have all counties that are on the water, that have ports. I think I might end up going this way. I think that's going to be my plan. So, if we want, we can attack Thomond. He is at war currently. We do not have any truces with anybody, despite having attacked him earlier for Ormond. I guess we ended up with a truce with the guy who actually owned Ormond. If he's still alive, we can look at the county of Ormond and just look at history, see who owned it before. He's dead. So, no truce with him. But that's probably what it was. This guy's been around forever. And our war is just a de jure claim. But it will gain us the county of Thomond. He wouldn't be vassalized. It says we gain the county. So I think that's what we do. We looked last time, and he has... we just click on him, scroll out. Oh, we aren't in our diplomatic view. That was why the colors were wrong. We're in our independent realm view. So if we scroll out, we see... Or clicked on him, but it didn't actually work. Okay, now he's green, so we can see... He's going to call this guy into war. He's going to call the Scottish guy into war, but that guy has 2 wars already, so we probably won't see him join. Connacht is not currently at a war. Interesting. But he's pretty weak. Oh, maybe he's not. He got his levy back. Interesting. We actually put him back in power because we killed the guy that had taken this away from him while we were at war. And he has an ally over here in Holland. What do you have? I mean, that's a long way. We can probably end that war before he can get over here with any amount of troops. So, he has his own troops. He's got 2,200. 26 with his vassals. Once again, we can look and see how much those people actually like him. So we click on him. We see how people like him. He likes them plus 51. So he probably would come out of likingness. He likes me 50. It's actually kind of a toss-up. But he does like him a little more than he likes us, and they do have those ties. We can click on diplomacy and see exactly what those ties are. Brian's son's father-in-law. So Brian, this is Brian, right? Yeah, so his son married the daughter of that dude. Her? Who's your daughter? This one. If you hover over them, you can see who their spouse is. Huh? She wants to marry a ruler. That's gotta hurt. She doesn't want you to become a ruler. She just wants to marry someone who's already a ruler. I'm sorry, man. So, like, let's say she died. Wow, there's a lot of plot power to kill her. This could be kind of interesting. If she dies, they lose that ally. So maybe let's I know once again this was almost like 20 minutes of talking. I do apologize for that, but this is, you know, we're planning things out. Our guy might not live very long. It might be better just to go to war immediately. But then again, who knows? Let's just for fun, let's show how we could get rid of an ally by breaking that bond. If she dies, or they got divorced, but there's nothing we can do about that, then... So when I mouse over that, by the way, what I'm doing, I'm checking if you can't see, if you're not watching this in full HD, it's telling me that the possible plot power to kill this girl, this link in the alliance, is 255%. I mean, I usually I don't get any plot power because my intrigue's so bad. But my diplomacy is probably pretty good right now. I can't remember. Actually, I don't think it is. State diplomacy is probably decent. So, and the big reason for this is because she's Dutch. People don't like her because she's of a different culture. She has a negative 20 modifier with everybody. So let's we're still paused. So basically, we can just see what it's like. We can open this up and scroll and see all these people that are willing to kill her, which should come out to around 255%. We got a couple iffy people as well. We could bribe them and get them in. Not really worth it when we have this much plot power already. Anything over 200 is more than enough, if you ask me. If, yeah, our diplomacy is kind of low. So if we went on not went on a hunt, but if we had a feast, where we are wounded, we can't hunt right now. If we had a feast, more people will join that plot, probably, because we'll get +5 to our diplomacy, which is +5 opinion to everybody, and an additional +5 opinion to everybody. So everyone will like us, basically 10 more, and that's probably enough to get those people who are on the fence, at least some of them, to join in. So, let's find whatever son of yours that was. Oh, yeah, you, right? Where's yours? Oh, the main. No, not the main son. It was your ally. That guy. Okay. He's got a lot of sons. So he's marrying. And once again, we can just mouse over and make sure. Brian's son, Indrektak, his father-in-law. Which means wife's father. Got it. Oh, I already chose that plot. Very good. So if we click on auto-invite to plots and unpause the game, give it a little time. As they get my invite, they will slowly, or probably quickly en masse, jump on in. $255. There you go. So at the risk of possibly dying, just at the end of this episode, let's see if we can kill her. We'll have a feast, even though it would be good for me to save a little money. My co-conspirator, so it's already firing the events around this. We'll see if we get lucky and the first event works again. My co-conspirator, Don Chad, has hired someone to saw through the supports of the railing on a balcony Hilagunda is known to frequent. Someone may soon take a bit of a tumble. Look out below. And we just wait a while until, wait for her to walk out on the balcony and possibly lean on the railing. Hey, Hilagunda, I hear the stars are beautiful tonight. Why don't you go check them out? What light upon yonder window breaks? I actually don't care much for Shakespeare. Failure! Hilagunda discovered the sabotage that had been done on the railing. At least she's clueless as to who deserves the blame for this. We will just have to try again. And, I mean, she does have 9 intrigue. She's a cautious girl. She's looking for such shoddy plots as ours. Now, with this many people, too, there's a decent chance someone's going to blab about this plot, and she's going to find out about it. It doesn't stop the plot. She just dislikes us because we're trying to kill her. And if she does die in an accident later, we could still get away with it. Even though she knows we were plotting to kill her and her family knows we were plotting to kill her. If we don't get caught as the people who actually killed her, then it doesn't matter. Yeah, you got a ways to go. There's another guy that wanted wealth. One of our mayors. Right? Oh, that's his vassals. Our mayors. He wants to become chancellor. No dice. This guy? He wants to become exalted among men. I can't necessarily give you prestige. Oh, Phelan's dead. He died a natural death. Selback? No, he wants to be a paragon of virtue. He's one of our mayors we can marry, so is Tigernan. We already checked you, didn't we? Well, last but not least, okay, well, I misremembered something. Maybe it's one of our, I don't know. Who knows? I guess it could have been a bishop. Is it you? Well, you're dead now. Okay, so we lost our court chaplain, which is probably fine. I bet we have someone who was as good as him. Maybe not. We got someone who's 15, though, and he wants to become court chaplain. And he's possessed. That sounds like a great court chaplain. Sure. Have at it. We do need to put him to work. Let's look at our vassals. Keep the clock ticking. Sorry, I just have a habit. Actually, while we're here, the guy that we vassalize doesn't like us very much. My co-conspirator, Tag Albrain, has let me know that Hilgunda Gurfling will die by poisoned wine at the upcoming banquet. Classic. Classic, classic. We forgot to have our feast. Big surprise there, huh? So we want to improve relations with that bishop. That bishop is in Ormond. Let's send you to Ormond. Let's look at our, what vassal was it? It was this dude in Ulster. Let's just see if we have any honorary titles to give to him. Ooh, so now that we're king, we have new honorary titles we can give out, additional ones. We also have the court jester. So if we want to piss someone off, we just humiliate them. The court jester is kept around to provide general entertainment to the court. Also known as a fool, it is generally not considered to be the most prestigious office at court. He actually loses monthly prestige, but he gets some money, and he dislikes us by 10 for doing so. I want to find something maybe that'll bump him up 15. High Almoner won't. Sinestral, I don't know if I said that right, will though. Responsible for the organization of feast and domestic entertainment. Although left mainly in the hands of deputies, the key role at such major occasions makes the post prestigious. He gets a little salary and prestige. You know what? I mean, I want to flatter you. You were very nice to accept vassalization, even though you didn't really want to. We don't like him 12. But now he likes us 4. That's good enough for now. We may do something else. I mean, he's a 20 spy master, though that guy's 21. Yeah, that's good enough. Classic. Still at war? Yeah. I do kind of want to attack him before his war's up, though. 17%. It's nowhere near finishing unless someone gets captured. Brian O'Brien's contracted typhoid fever. You had smallpox earlier, too. You might die. And that might help with some of these alliances. Hey, we succeeded. I hate how... I want to see that one first. Success! Hilligund died of poison wine. Unfortunately, my complicity was discovered. Good, but bad. So these are all the people who now probably dislike me a little bit for having killed the Pope. Pope doesn't like that I'm dishonorable because I plotted to have someone killed. But, it says neutral. It's still purple, though. And we found out that Ronde de Penthive wants to kill probably that guy, our spy master that we got to our court. So she's probably trying to help with lines of succession. Oh no, the spy master's telling me, why don't you put the person who's part of the plot, who's the target of the plot there? I know who my spy master is. Okay, known plots. We know a few plots. So she wants to kill this guy, our court chaplain, because he's heir to a county that she thinks someone else should be heir to. And we can imprison her because she's in our court and plotting. We did this with our mother earlier. We wouldn't get any bonus to opinion for just imprisoning her and letting her go because she's not a count or a duke. Look at all these interesting things. Our marshal's plotting. He likes us 63. He'll like us a little bit more if we catch him plotting, or he should. Let's cancel this plot. Let's ask him to stop. Well, just real quick, I probably need to end this soon. I'm sure we're over 20 minutes by now because I talked so long before. This is not our... He is not our vassal. This is a different bishop. He doesn't like us very much. He also doesn't like his liege very much. You know what? I'm okay with letting this fire. I'd rather him get a bishop who maybe likes him. I mean, based on his horrible stats, you know, his traits that aren't very friendly to the church, probably none of his bishops will like him. So maybe in that case, let's look at our marshal. Oh, it's not our marshal, it's his marshal. Well, I don't care. You guys do whatever you want. I can see if maybe someone who is in my court or is a vassal of mine might back that, and then I can tell him to stop and get a little prestige. This guy, I don't want to die because he's my court chaplain and he's pretty good at it. Though she's not... Oh, she is in our court. Is that your... It's your daughter. She's trying to kill her dad so she could get his claim. No? Oh, that one can be inherited. I mean, she's a... Okay. Anyways, so she likes us 44. We're going to tell her to stop her plot. And plot. She's going to do it because she dare not refuse. We could have imprisoned her. No real reason to do that. So let's see if she gets the plus 10 for catching her plotting. Or maybe it'll be more since she was the leader of a plot. Or maybe it'll be nothing. Nothing. Nothing for catching her plotting. I understand why they nerfed it a bit. But, I mean, they really should have... I mean, she really should be concerned I caught her plotting. Okay, so now the map's updated. They're neutral. They no longer have that. Man, over here. So he married him off again to this dude, who might be worse for us. I think that's the same amount of troops. And he's farther away. And he's in a war. So, next episode. Unless I change my mind, I promise I will attack Thomund and usurp that duchy, get my holdings, and then we'll figure out what to do with the rest of this place. Hopefully we stay alive long enough, but we might have succession in our future as well. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I do appreciate it if you're liking it. I know I'm kind of harping on this, but, you know, spread the wealth. Let other people know that it's a good series so that they'll watch it. I'm not making any money on this or anything like that. This is just, you know, it's my altruism. So, yeah, like it, and other people will be more likely to be able to find and decide to actually watch it. Thanks a lot. I will catch you all later. Bye-bye.